and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by One Who Parks on Discord.
This is Aaron, I go by Treffenwood on Discord.
Welcome back for this week's riveting episode of Infamous. We are quickly chasing down that 300 mark where we can all retire to a beach somewhere because we put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how this works, right?
Yep. It's basically like It's like making your $2 million. Yeah, it's like making your $2 million. Once you get there, you're done. You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah. Cool. So let's jump into media segment. Anybody watched or played anything new and exciting?
I downloaded a game that was much maligned on release, and for May the 4th, it went on sale, and all expansions went on sale, and I was like, hey, this is my favorite part of this universe, and I was really into it till I got scared away by the internet, and it's Star Wars Outlaws. And I just started playing it just last night, finally, because even though I got it on May the 4th, it's been knuckin' futz at the end of the year stuff at school, and I just been sleeping and school and then parenting, but I finally turned it on, and the internet was right, apparently. I never got to play it like a year and a half ago when it came out, but it has since then very much improved. I'm enjoying it. I would say that it does a very, very, very good job of doing what I wanted, which is I would like to play the non-Space Wizard parts of the Star Wars universe, because every Star Wars game I've ever played kind of hyper focuses on Space Wizards, and they kind of sell you everything's about the light side and the dark side. Even the MMO that lets you play like a generic guy, everything was still about light side, dark side stuff. And I was just like, I don't really give a fuck about that. My favorite part of the Star Wars universe has always been Han Solo, Chewie, Lando, like
the
all
regular dudes,
just
criming it up.
Yeah, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of both, right? The Guardians of the Galaxy line, like those are my favorite kind of characters set in a universe, and so that Outlaws does a really good job of doing that. I think on when it was released, there was a lot of weird like quality of life stuff that was broken. This is something that I watched some video about, just like what kind of things have changed since it came out, and I was like, apparently there was a bunch of junk in it that just made the game kind of clunky, but playing it right now, it just feels great, and they absolutely nailed the outlaw in a Star Wars universe amongst all the crime syndicates, managing your own little Han Solo type adventure, and it's been really fun so far. Would recommend if you're a Star Wars fan.
Cool. Yeah, I think Han is a good example of the rogue type character that exists in a lot of mythos. He's a great given example.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, did you also like Firefly because of the same trope of sci-fi rogues?
Yep, absolutely. Science fiction rogues are my jam. Really, any rogues are my jam. Like they're my favorite. Sure. They're my favorite version of the thief with the conscience. Right, is like my favorite trope character. I really appreciate that character.
Your D&D character would beg to differ with that.
I know. Well,
you played about the farthest thing from a rogue that you possibly could.
And one of the things that you and I have talked about this is when we were making the character is I specifically didn't want to do, because the first game we ever played way back at your old house in your old basement, I was playing Indiana Jones basically, right? Another roguish conscious character, right? And so obviously I'm drawn towards these kind of characters, and I specifically for D&D campaign I was like, let's play something that I don't play. Let's play a character I might appreciate, but it's something that I don't automatically gravitate towards instantly upon seeing a genre. And so that's why I kind of dove into that. But I learned my lesson. Rogues from now on, rogues and bards only from now on in D&D. That's what I've decided. And it came 100% from watching our good friend Jim's character, like the way that his character played in the game, even though it was brief. I was like, that's really fucking cool. I made a mistake, but I'm going to enjoy playing my character now. But but eventually, it's going to come back around to a thief character that he was really cool.
Aaron, have you seen anything that you? Oh, sorry, I had a segue. Are you excited that they're bringing back Firefly?
Me? I'm really trepidatious. However, I I think we mentioned it on this cast. I can't remember. Something I've been watching with my wife is the Scrubs reboot. You know, they rebooted Scrubs.
Okay.
And I loved OG Scrubs. It was a big part of my like coming of age, 20 something identity. And I thought it was the comedy of my time. And I was so sure they were going to ruin it, as they have ruined everything that I loved from my youth, right? And when they try to bring it back, that's some sort of pale imitation where they try to commoditize it and turn it into something they can market virally on the internet. But Scrubs was handled so pitch perfectly, just perfect. It gives me hope. If they can get the showrunners and producers, the designers who are committed to, or perhaps the same people who generated the OG Firefly, I'm all down. Please let me have more Firefly. I am not scared of it at all. As it turns out, if you get the right showrunners and makers to surround people to tell a more mature version of the original character's story, it could be really good. Like, it could be very, very satisfying. And that's what they did with Scrubs. Scrubs just feels like those characters. Again, more. So I would love to see Firefly for that.
You know what they're doing, though, right? Like the way they're rebooting it?
No, I've read nothing. I don't know.
Okay. I believe this is correct. This is at least what I got. Was it's coming back as an anime, and the original cast will be voice acting it.
You're lying, right? That's a troll.
No,
like you're trolling me.
That's actually what I have. Yeah, that's what I have been informed of. Which I actually am for. I think that's a good way to do it.
Sure? Question mark. Like, yeah, like that should work great.
Mm.
But then that's not Firefly then, right? That's just like Firefly IP on a cartoon.
Well, it's the same characters. Like, it's the same crew. It just takes place later in the storyline. But yeah, so basically what I'm envisioning is something along the lines of What If, but with Firefly.
Yeah.
Like that style of animation with the cast.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just what I've heard.
Okay. Again, I am not upset by more Firefly story. I think that'll be fine. It's definitely not in the same category of Scrubs, which I just mentioned, which is absolutely them trying to continue the same format again more.
Sure, yeah. I've never seen Scrubs, so I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah. Hard recommend to anybody who liked the OG Scrubs. The Scrubs reboot was great.
I think my version of Scrubs was Psych. That was like my silly joke of a procedural show.
Yeah.
Aaron, have you done anything new?
No, I have been lost in Diablo with my son for the last week, so.
I've heard that the new expansion is getting good reviews.
I haven't played it in probably a year, so I can't really compare it to recent stuff. I think it's pretty much the same game I remember from a year ago.
Okay. All I remember is my character got massively nerfed. I didn't have fun anymore, so I stopped playing it. So,
sure.
What?
It's always hard to convince people to go backwards in content.
A character got nerfed?
Yeah, they apparently the story that I heard was that somebody along the line fucked up the math on the way characters scale. Like, there was a decimal point put in the wrong place in one of the buckets, and so the stuff they had designed was basically that for the next wave of expansion was gonna be way too weak for the player base, because players were moving more quickly through progression than they expected, and this is why somebody fucked up the math somewhere on the live game. So to fix it, instead of just raising the numbers on the back end for your difficulty numbers, they just lowered the player numbers, but they didn't change the environment at all. So you went from fighting tier 34 dungeons to having to go back to like tier 15 dungeons, and your rewards scale back as well. So it's basically like your character got de-leveled by like 10 levels was the equivalent of what they did. Which, admittedly, if it fixes it either way, but if you had fixed it the other way, the player base wouldn't have been disheartened, right? And so it's just, I'm sure it was easier to do it the way they did it, and probably saved them a lot of money and time. But, it was that, and there was a big, like, player migration when that happened, because a lot of people left, and then because there's less people playing, less people are encouraged to play, and there was also other games coming out around that time.
Interesting.
But yeah. I'm also just not a fan of the seasonal style. I hate the concept of, like, my characters not being able to play with your characters depending on what type of characters we have. And I don't like jumping in, like, I don't want to schedule my life around when your updates come out, so I'm just not going to follow you. If as soon as seasonal things happened, I just stopped playing games because I'm not going to make a new character at the same time everybody else does, which means I'll be way behind everybody else, so I won't get to play with them anyway. And all the characters I already have can't play with you because it's seasonal, and so I just end up not playing. It's like if I could just have one character that I could play on and off again with other people, that'd be great. But I'm not going to try and grind up a new character every time an imaginary time period changes. Like, it's just stupid to me. And I understand it's to convince the regular players to not quit because it keeps it fresh for them. That's not me, and you're designing your game mechanics around people that don't play the game the way I do. So
I'm gonna have a different take on that. I used to be kind of in your boat. Never played seasonal content, like it was just standard League forever. And then I decided with Path of Exile, when that launched 2.0, that I would try the seasonal stuff. I understand your point of view. What the best thing I can say about seasonal stuff is it's not for the people who are playing. It's for everyone who played for 3 weeks and then either stopped because they got where they needed to. It was too grindy, life got in the way, whatever, right? All of a sudden on June 4th, the new season launches. Oh, well, it's a kind of a reminder to kind of get back in, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's there for the current base. It's there to reinvigorate the previous base.
Okay. But what if I can't start that week? I have to start a week late. Everybody else is a week ahead of me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Paranoid are going to do in Path of Exile. It drops on the 29th of May, and we're gone for basically 2 weeks.
Right, but you guys are just playing together. Like, if I want to play with Ryan and my other buddies that play the game, I can't play with them unless I start playing at exactly the time they do and play for a reasonably similar amount of time.
This is a true statement.
Right. As where if it was the other way, if we just had one big server and not cut up into seasons, I could have one max level character that I could play with them anytime they were playing whatever they're playing. But because
that exists, the game supports that.
Right, but nobody
your
wants
friends
to play
choose
it.
Not to engage in that, then that I was them. I was the permanent server guy for my entire life up until last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sounds like a personal issue is the wrong word, but an issue between you and your friends into how you want to approach.
No, I
game.
agree.
If you have divergent ways you want to engage with the game, then okay.
I'm not telling them not to do seasons. It's clearly very successful. It just means that I won't be playing your game. Is basically what it means.
Sure.
And I know that's not going to sway them in any way. It's just my situation.
Understood.
I found a new show that, it was recommended to me. Have you ever run into this issue where someone recommends you something and then you talk to them about it later and they don't remember recommending it? In fact, they tell you after the fact that they didn't even finish watching it?
No.
This happens to be a fair amount usually, probably because I'm at the game store so much. But
yeah,
Jeremy recommended a Ricky Gervais show to me, and then I talked about it with him later, and he was like, "Oh, I never would have told you to watch that. I didn't even finish it." I'm like, "You told me it was amazing." He's like, "I definitely didn't say that." I was like, "You 100% said this." But
Jerry's getting kind of.
I know, right?
To be fair, if you
he forgets a lot of shit.
A big surprise, Jeremy didn't remember telling you something. Like that's news at 11.
No, I'm not. Again, I'm just stating the recollection.
Mm-hmm.
He recommended a show Afterlife to me. Has anyone watched this?
I have.
It is a surprisingly brutal show.
Oh yeah, it is. It is not for the faint of heart. Like you got to go into that ready.
That show changes gears like a fucking funny car. This thing is insane.
Yep.
But I love it. It's great. I wish there was more shows like this. It hits the dark, abrasive humor from Always Sunny with none of the outrageous plot points. Everything is extremely realistic except for the people he interviews because all those people are fucking crazy. But those people exist. They're not cartoonish.
Yeah.
And then it just, every episode is just 5 minutes of just dark spiral.
Yes.
Did you watch the whole thing?
No, I have not seen the whole thing. I have seen, I think, 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, is that it? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you haven't even gotten to the crazy stuff yet. Okay.
No. But I know what you mean. Just it gets really heavy and really deep. You have to be, I think, you have to be very emotionally centered to watch that show because it will pull you back and forth really hard. And I love my wife, but she couldn't watch that show. She is too. She's too empathetic.
It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, you have to be a very stable, like stout emotional person to take this.
Yeah, you do.
Especially to binge it. You're just like, oh my god.
Also, if you've experienced like loss in your life, also like
it's hard.
If you have a fresh wound, this show will pick at it. Like you have to be careful.
Yeah, I'll tear it wide open.
Yeah.
So anyway, the plot of the show is it picks up like days after his wife dies. And he's basically at the point where like he doesn't want to go on living. And so it's him trying to decide if he's going to kill himself or not. And he has like a very normal average life. He lives in a small town in the UK. And he works with his brother-in-law, who was the brother of his wife. So it's obviously hitting him hard too. But he goes into work and he just decides, I'm just going to be a complete asshole to everyone I see because there's no punishment. Like nobody can make me feel bad anymore because I already feel terrible. And so he's like, I'm just going to say how I feel to everybody. And so that's how the show starts. And it's just him just being a complete dickhole to everybody, just calling them on their bullshit instead of just letting them get away with it. It's very funny for that regard. Mm-hmm. But then it cuts between that and scenes of him seriously grieving for his loss. And so it's really interesting.
He's not being cruel. He's just he's not. Yeah, he just doesn't handle any bullshit. Like zero bullshit. It's
like a coworker he has. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to read your horoscope?" And he's like, "That's fake. You're an idiot." Like, yeah, right. It's just like right in the face. Like, oh, okay.
He's just massively honest to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a very fun show, but it's great. I like it.
It is really strong.
I think I said last time I downloaded and played a little bit of Dwarf Fortress. It's been fun. It's just it's a lot like Minecraft. You have to put in a crazy amount of effort just learning the mechanics. Like once you understand how it actually works, it's very interesting. But it's a labor. I can't talk today.
Ooh.
It's a labor of love. You have to really enjoy those types of games. And then it's just infinitely deep. It just has layers and layers and layers. Like it gets to the point where you're just digging a hole on a 2D top-down layer-based game. And then it'll get to the point later where you're like, well, I want to cover all this in stone. And then I want to smooth out the stone to make it nice. And I want to engrave the stone. So you have like a guy who's been engraving for so long that he's like a master engraver. He's engraving like murals in the ground on all of your flooring just because like you can do that. And like the murals tell the story of the randomly generated world you're in. And so it'll be of events that actually happened in this simulation. And so they're always new. And it's just crazy levels of stuff.
Those kind of games are so appealing to... It's kind of interesting. They're so appealing to so many people, and there's something about it that I really struggle to latch onto and really enjoy, like to enjoy it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems odd because I like building and intricacy. So it sounds like on its face value something that I would really appreciate. But there's something about the lack of rails on it that in a video game, I guess maybe I want to. That's not really work less because I love working really hard. I want more of a narrative experience, I guess. And the point of those games is to build your own narrative. And that's the part I don't want to have to work to do. I want somebody to tell me the story. And so that's what I have a hard time with. But it is...
Well, I think Dwarf Fortress kind of takes care of the narrative on your own because there's always shit going on.
Oh, okay.
And unlike Minecraft, where if you just sit in a dark room, it will just continue to be a dark room forever, basically, right. As long as you don't die of starvation.
Yeah.
That is not Dwarf Fortress at all. It randomly generates an entire like globe, basically, of all these entities. And if you zoom out to like the regional map, you can see there's like goblins and humans and elves and all kinds of shit. And they're all doing stuff. It's like a game of Civ. Like if you just sit there and ignore everybody, the world moves on without you.
Oh, okay.
And not only that, but like all kinds of weird monsters attack you and stuff. And like as you continue, there's trade caravans show up, and you can trade with other civilizations. You can start wars with people. You can form alliances. You can do all kinds of crazy shit. But like the game moves at a crazy pace where like I want to say like a year in game is like 30 minutes or an hour. Maybe it's even less than that. And so you can sit there and just watch as 50 years tick by, and like your people start dying of old age, and so like you replace them with children being born, and so your civilization will live through many generations as you play one little world. And then there's any number of things that could catastrophically destroy your fortress. Like some like disease can outbreak. One of the funny ones is like lycanthropes or vampires get into your base and start turning all your people into monsters, and they start killing each other on the full moons. And you're like, God damn it!
Okay, so now see, that does sound much more of like what I would be into. I am not into the whole like this is an environment that's just perfectly stable unless you destabilize it yourself.
No, very much not.
No, that is much more interesting to me.
Yeah, you can accidentally like open up a hole into an underground river and flood your entire base and drown everybody. Like you can do all kinds of crazy shit. There's 38 different types of were creatures in the game.
So that's pretty cool.
That's how deep it. Like there's 38 types of lycanthropes. That's more than there are in D&D.
Yeah, that is an insane number of man-bear pigs.
Yeah. If you dig into the cave networks underground, there's what they call lost or forgotten monsters, and they're literally like mutated like combinations of different monsters.
Wow.
Because they've just been left alone down there for eons.
I really want to get both of your takes on a game called Oxygen Not Included.
I've had this on my wish list for a long time.
Okay, well, I guarantee it's cheap as shit now.
It's $24, $25. You're a liar.
Okay, well, wait for one of the sales.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it to the point where I'm debating picking it back up when Perrin gets done playing Diablo. It is one of those games, just like kind of Dwarf Fortress, where it's going to take you a while to really kind of sink into the mechanics of how stuff works. But and I played it once. I really liked it. Like, really, really, really liked it. And so I've got that itch to play it again. But it is very much... So I'm not a big Minecraft fan. I've never actually played myself. But it's kind of like... It's in that same vibe. Open world.
Yeah, so I've never played Oxygen Not Included. It is a vaguely similar game. I would say this is much simpler and more straightforward than Dwarf Fortress, but it really just kind of depends on what you are looking for.
Yep.
I will say that there's definitely no way to win at Dwarf Fortress. Obviously there's the goal of just live longer and like don't have your civilization collapse on itself, but yeah, I don't know.
And that is another thing about those kind of games that frustrates me is like Civ. I loved Civ because there was like win conditions, quote unquote, right? And so I had a goal. But any game that doesn't have a goal, that also frustrates me. And again, not because I think all games have to. I'm not saying that you have to have goals. I'm just saying I know that it does. Like when I start playing it, if I'm not trying to save the world or become the best at something or bake a cake or whatever the hell it is. Like I struggle to care to keep trying. But even if the point is to just, and I'm okay with like match systems. Like I played Blood Bowl and there was no point to Blood Bowl other than to win games of Blood Bowl. But that was enough point. But
that is the point. Yeah. So I mean, if your goal is to just be a successful civilization, like there's so many things you can do.
Okay.
And like it's to the point where you almost have to just let the computer automate some stuff, because if you try to do every little detail, you'll just bog yourself down to the point where nothing ever happens. Like you can tell, it's like, hey, this guy is going to be a mason. He's going to do stone carving, but he's going to go specifically only to these 2 stone carving workshops, and he's only going to work on these types of projects. And you can go through with every individual dwarf and look through you can see their thoughts, what they're thinking. You can look at their relationships with other dwarves, and you can look at like their desires in the world, like things they want to accomplish in their lives. It's like all your individual little dwarves, you can go in and look at all these people, and you can have hundreds of them.
Jesus.
It's like, the fuck? Like, this is too much, guys. Yeah. This guy likes apples, so we need to get him some apples and he'll be happier. But it's like, or you could just not give him apples and he'll be reasonably happy.
Oh, that's the degree of optimization you can try to grab. Wow.
Yeah. Like maybe he likes a different kind of fabric that he wants to wear, so you have to go farm another resource to make different kinds of clothes to give him the clothing he wants. And then like also you can have a guy that makes all of your clothing, so he gets really, really good at it, becomes a master, clothing maker or tailor or whatever. And so if he makes everybody's clothing, then they'll like the clothing even more because he's really good at it. but you have to have someone make all this clothing first before they get that good at it. And then you can remake all the clothing and throw out or trade away all the old clothing to other civilizations that want to buy it. It's nuts. This is like top level stuff. This isn't even all the way down. Like, it's so insane. Like, people have been running like the same game for like 15 plus years, and there's still shit going on.
Wow.
Anyway, that we talked about Dwarf Fortress more than enough. I want to say there was another game I picked up. No, there's another game I played. I played some more City Heroes finally.
Finally, City of Heroes.
I know, right? I love City Heroes. It's so good.
I know. What did you discover? Did they already put something in the game that you wanted to try, or did you just want to pick it back up?
No, I saw that Simon, one of my employees, was in the game, and so I jumped on and started fucking with him, and then we ran a few missions and played some. He needed help doing a build because I've usually helped everybody with their like specking and stuff. So I went on and made him a build and showed him what he needed to go get to finish out his character.
Nice.
But then we also, I think we looked at making some new characters as well. But yeah, it's a fun game. Alrighty. Parker, do you remember the story you told me? I'm curious if you'd be willing to tell this on the cast. The story about when you were at work and you had your water flavorer. Do you remember this? You told me on the way to Adepticon.
How
you were at the microwave. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it so?
I can tell it if you don't remember.
No. I think is it the one? Is the one about how I was? So these Mio, I use Mio. But they're like the hyper concentrated things, right? And so I dropped some into a glass full of just ice, and I was like, I'll put some water in this soon. And then I was like standing next to the microwave, kind of absentmindedly waiting for my food, and I just took a whole swig of pure, like iced, like concentrate.
Just idly, you're like, oh, let me finish this off, and like, because you're just like waiting for the microwave.
It's what I imagine. It's like drinking the inside of a pin. It was just so terrible, and also the dye is so because you're planning on diluting it with a ton of water, and so the dye is incredibly thick, and so my lips were dyed like dark red, and my tongue and my teeth, you could see it.
Didn't you say there was a guy in the room when you did this?
Oh yeah,
because you go to take a drink, you get the full shot of Mio, and so you just like go to spit it out. Yeah. You just spit dark red liquid all over the microwave. The guy's like, "Oh my god, you're dying!"
Yeah. He thought I was. I was like,
blood everywhere.
Yeah, because I'm definitely. You can't not want to spit it off the tip of your tongue, right? There's almost no actual content in your mouth because it's such a tiny amount, but it's so concentrated. I was like, and of course, little specks of dark red are coming out of my mouth, and he was freaking out. He's like, "You okay?" Like, but he said, "You okay?" Not like, "Am I going to die?" Because clearly I'm not dying. I'm spitting out tiny flecks of blood. But why?
Or
tiny
your own
flecks
organ.
Of blood? Yeah, exactly.
One, yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's just the weird, obvious attack I'm having. And so then I'm like, I check myself and I'm like, it's the Mio. Oh my god. And it was just, it was the absolute worst. Never ever again. You actually cannot dilute that shit in your mouth. Once you start drinking water, it doesn't help. It's like it's infused to your tongue for a while. It was like an hour. I was still tasting it. It was brutal stuff. Never again, he said confidently.
Cool. All right. So update on the Blood Bowl League. Everyone's gotten their games in. Nobody's default. Me and CJ were the closest defaulting. That's because he was out of town. But so we got it all in.
Nice.
Aaron, you correctly picked the winner of all 4 matches this week.
I know.
Is he 100%? Is he 100% now?
What do you mean by 100%?
100% on win loss. I think that's right.
No, he missed that
because I predicted a tie and someone won. I do. So hold on. This is the most fucked up scoring system ever.
The scoring system is. I re-listened to that podcast and I mentioned it I mentioned it in the cast cast. But then as I was re-listening to the cast while I was mowing the lawn the other day, I was like, "Yeah, this system is fucking bullshit."
Why? I'm sure you want a system that just inflates numbers for no reason, right? No, so you get 1,000 points for picking it right. You get 100 points for every point you were correct on.
No, you don't need that. That's not the problem. The problem is that he gets 1 point for choosing who wins, and then 1 point.
2 points for
you get 2 2 for correctly choosing the outcome of the game, and -1 point for every touchdown you were off.
Yeah,
by.
so I correctly
On both
guessed
sides.
or predicted a victory, but was off by 2 touchdowns, so I end up with a 0. And realized that there are 3 very legitimate possibilities for results. Like ties are not uncommon, right? So
ties are legitimate. Yeah, like we've had no ties so far, I believe, which I think is abnormal. Like we're getting to the point where like it's
right.
So
I have a
breaking the norm
1/3 chance to correctly
I would say 1 in 4 games
a
should
win-loss
be.
tie. And so I'm already, if I was just getting
That's why it's
2
worth so many points.
It's worth 2. That's the problem, I think.
That's a lot of points. See, in my scoring system,
I'm
points
just
are
saying,
valuable.
No. Your scoring system, I don't think anybody could ever
right?
end
Like
a league
how
positively.
not
I don't
negative
think
can
I
I get?
do not think it's positive.
Okay, so I will. How about this?
Yeah.
I would say in a normal league that has an, excuse me, a more, we'll say, even amount of experience distributed amongst the players, because we have basically 4 pretty new people and 4 reasonably seasoned people. In a normal league that has a more of a flat experience curve, I would say that it is much easier to succeed on the system.
No one will ever.
Would you agree with that, Aaron?
To succeed. Blood Bowl's so random, man.
It's a little random, but like how many?
It doesn't matter if I
5-0s are there
predict
normally in a
2-1 for
season
one
of
person
Blood
and
Bowl?
it goes 2-1 the other. I'm 0 points. Or actually, I lose 2 for getting it wrong, right? Yeah, so I lose 2, and then I'm off by 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
So a 2-1 going one way instead of the other is worth -4 points. So I have to perfectly predict the other.
No. You don't get, Aaron, you don't get penalized 2 points for missing it. You just get a bonus 2 for correctly picking the outcome. There's no penalty for incorrectly choosing the outcome. You just lose 1 for every touchdown you were off. So a 2-1 being reversed is just a -2. But if you correctly predict the 2-1, you get 4 points.
Okay.
I'll stand by my original statement. I think a very strong performance would be a 0 with a scale like that.
Well, then Aaron's a very good picker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think being positive would be statistically incredibly difficult to be. Like, to the point at which, and I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying we have to adjust the scale because people think positive number is good.
Oh no, he adopted
scale,
Aaron's
golf.
trash
Like,
rating
getting
for
to 0
tactics
is for
cards,
the
and
best.
we are embracing the negativity of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're doing great. I don't know what you guys are. I'm hearing a whole bunch of whining, considering that I think it's working great. Firing on all cylinders. I mean, if I would just say this, if Parker was picking, he would have something around -15,000 somethings. I don't know what that thing would be, but that would be where Parker would be.
I think I have. What's the best one for this?
Here.
My score would be as legitimate as this current scale that you're using. I think it would be.
Well, here we go. Parker, you have 4,141 probationary episodes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so Aaron is doing better than you.
That's true. It is.
All right, so this last week, he correctly picked all 4 winners and was only off by 1 touchdown in each game. So he got a total of 4 points. Combined with his season-long total, that brings him to 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Strong, yes.
Positive score.
Can't go downhill from
Crushing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good job.
Okay.
So we need this week's predictions. All right, so we have Skaven versus Dark Elves.
I'm gonna go. I know.
This is going to be an interesting one.
Keep
in mind, Kenny will be doing nothing but fouling
2-2
the
tie.
entire game.
Yeah.
Ooh, spicy. I think the draws are very enticing because it's so easy to guess just a low score tie, but they're the hardest to get right because you have to get the exacta. All right, so we have Norse versus Halflings. And don't forget, I told you, I'm bringing my A game this week.
We're going to go 3-0 Norse.
Oof. He's going to get at least 1-1
I'll
for
be
touchdown.
wrong.
It's going to happen. All right, Goblins versus Snotlings.
2-0 Goblins.
All right, this is you, Aaron. Oof.
Nope.
No respect for Ryan. I feel like you guys should be the first draw. You guys should keep your 0 touchdown season-long record going, and also your no wins record going. That would be the ultimate outcome of this week. Also, you each have
the
10
worst
players
part of
die.
my life for the past 2 weeks have been listening to all you guys be like, oh, this person leveled up and got him blocked. This person leveled up and got him that. I'm looking at my entire team with 0 levels and just want to fucking gouge not only my eyes out, but both of your testicles.
Oh.
All right, so doors versus gnomes. Moving on.
2-0 doors.
All right, this is in the books. So on me and CJ's game was very interesting. I got my brand new runic Norse dice from Baron of Dice, and let me tell you guys, they fucking suck. These dice are terrible. I think I rolled. We counted it up. I rolled my first 14 knockdowns on blocks happened in the first 2 turns. 3 turns. In the first 3 turns, I knocked down 14 players. Broke armor twice on armor 7. It was going great. He ended up taking more of his own players out of the game than I took out of the game because he fouled once and failed a dodge roll. That took more of his players out of the game than I took out of the game. So we ended up tied 1-1 at the end of the first half, only because his stupid fucking fox. I engineered a 3-die block against the fox with a berserker.
Uh-huh.
So I have block and I have frenzy. So I throw the block, 3 dice. All of them are stumbles and pushes. So I push in my follow up. I hit him again. Roll again. Exact same roll as the first time. Spend my reroll. Roll 3 more block dice. All 3 pushes. I was like, fucking great. This is fucking stupid.
You deserve pushes. That's
I know,
that's
right?
what your dice are
I
trying
was like, I rolled 9 dice, and then on the next turn, runs the edge. I get 1 dude on him. Can only make 1 block. Throw the 2 dice, 2 pushes again, and I'm contemplating spending my last reroll to try and roll 2 more block dice against the same fucking box. I just fucking have it. I don't even care. Score again at the end of the half. We go to the next turn. I drive and score on turn 7. He did a really good job of slowing me down. He probably should just let me go at one point, but he did a great job of jamming everything up. And I got in. I was trying as hard as I could to score and only got in on turn 7. So he gets the ball on turn 8. I set up in my best anti-1-turn touchdown. He has no rerolls. We start this bullshit. The ball scatters literally to it's on his end zone line, not in the end zone itself, but the last square before the end zone, diagonally across from his treatment. He has to move, pick up the ball in his last square of movement, goes for it twice, throws it to another gnome. Gnome catches it. And gnomes are not good at throwing, by the way. I don't know if anyone at home knows this. No rerolls, makes the 5+ passing roll, catches it, runs it over, hands it to the guy by the tree. Dude catches it, rolls a 1-die block against a Norse lineman to push him off of the tree man. Does so, throws, accurate throw, and we get to the last roll of he's landing in a tackle zone before he finally fails a roll. He made like 11 die rolls in a row, and I'm like, you're gonna score, we're gonna tie this fucking game. I'm gonna be furious. Anyway, he did finally fall down. But yeah, it was a crazy game. I am very excited for my next game.
Yeah, so far I've played against only armies that can throw their own players, and I'm really glad actually for it because
there's a lot of them in this league.
I've never had that dimension of play sent at me so often, and it is like eye-opening to go like, okay, how do I manage this? Like, how do I mitigate this? How do I decide what I'm going to do? Yeah, it's interesting.
You should have seen Josh's face when CJ just straight up top of 1-turn touchdowned him in their game, and he was like, what am I supposed to do about that? It's like, there's nothing you can do. And he's like, this is bullshit. It's like, that is exactly how you're supposed to feel. You were correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was just very upset. He's like, what are we supposed to do about this? Nothing. You just watch it happen. Like, there's no way to stop it. All right. Anybody else have any Blood Bowl stuff to chat about before we move on?
I'm not going to belabor all of our game, but I will say that Blood Bowl does something to me that I think is really fun, which is sometimes when I play lots of games, I go, oh, you mean I need to roll like an 11 on 2 dice? I just won't do that. I'll think of some other thing to do with this character. Or, oh, I need to, I only get to roll 3 dice and I have to get, a full solid in judgment or something. I'm like, that's not statistically likely. I'll find something else to do with this character. in Blood Bowl, I will say things like, "Oh, I need a 6 to dodge into there to hit your guy in the cage. Fuck it," and that's what I don't know what it is about Blood Bowl that like leans me to do that. When in other games I am much more conservative, but in my game against Aaron, that's what I did this week. I was just like, huh, oh, he only has 2 strength on that on was it 2 strength on the goblin guy, and I can just mark all the members of the cage around him and dodge in with a 6+. Look, I got it, and I get to hit the goblin and knock the ball out, and now it's a game again. It was incredibly unlikely, but I take the chances for some reason in Blood Bowl that I would never do otherwise, and it is fun. It is fun because if I didn't get it, I just keep playing. It's still Blood Bowl. Who knows how the dice will mess up, But
yeah, that was why I forgot to mention, Aaron. Round 2 or turn 2 of me and CJ's game. My first action was to dodge my beer bore into position to get a favorable block on his Treeman. And he snaked the fucking dodge roll and got knocked out as my first action. It's like, you're fucking shitting me, right?
Actually, I have one question, Aaron. Since you're a very seasoned player, very seasoned, that when I pulled that off, when I set up the block, not the block, but when I set up the 2-die block by marking all the characters around your cage and then go ahead and going for it, is that like a strong strategic play, or is that were you looking at going that was stupid? He just lucked out. Like what was
the latter
in Blood Bowl in the content?
So that is
a
play. That is a play of necessity.
Yeah.
So when you
other options,
make that play,
go for it.
how you played it was absolutely correct. I don't think you were in a position at that moment where that was the best play. I don't think because a 6, even with a reroll, is not likely. Like the most likely outcome of that is you on the ground, potentially knocked out. So you go for it. I'm like, sweet. And then you just roll a 6. I'm like, oh, or not sweet. And then you knock me down despite the anyway, whatever dice you needed, you got them. And turned in your favor. So at the time, I did not like it from a strategic perspective. I didn't think it was absolutely empirically wrong. Like there are, objectively wrong decisions. I would have said that was a subjectively wrong one.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, the other option I had was the conservative one was it was like
4.
turn.
Yeah, it was like turn 4. So yeah,
4. I want to say. Yeah. So if I allow you to go ahead and take the easy score, I might get the ball back with like 3 turns left.
Take the easy score.
But
the ball is on the center of the pitch.
Oh, I thought you were over.
I thought you were
maybe
on my
one
side. Square.
Yeah.
Not. It was very much center of the pitch. And so I think you had plenty of opportunity to reposition your people to defend against anything other than some janky one-turn thing, which you already defended against by putting people base to base with my only surviving troll. So I didn't have a great way to one-turn it. You'd already jammed up my cage. What am I going to do? Just in Blood Bowl, it's called potato. When you just like, fuck it, I run. And then my opponent gets to blitz me and there's nothing to do about it. Like maybe that was my option. I hadn't, fully thought through my turn at that point. But I think you had turns with which to organize a better defense and put pressure on me. And if I score quickly, I cannot imagine how, again, down a troll and all of my secret weapons at that point, how I'm able to stop you from scoring in 4 turns. So at that point, it's a 2-1 victory to you.
Sure.
Your loss con, and when I say loss, I mean a tie, would have been me being able to drag it out to 8 and then score late and not give you 2 turns to score. And that is achieved by somehow, you going down on players and letting me matriculate the ball down the field. So making or trying a 6-up dodge, failing, and getting knocked out is, I think, the easiest way for me to pull off a tie. So your move was high risk, high reward. And I don't think you needed that type of a move at the time. And that's why.
Okay. No, I appreciate the feedback because one of the things I have not learned in this game is like clock management. To be like, okay, I have this many turns left. If I let him do this, he's going to be able to score this fast. I'm going to be able to score this fast. Like I just don't have that knowledge about the game because I haven't played against every faction. I don't know how far the pitch is in relation to people's movement, the speeds and stuff. So like you looked at it and you went, oh, I'm only one one space behind the line, it's really hard for me to score in one turn. I looked at it and I was like, oh, his troll can throw him and he can score immediately. It was my thinking.
It
The
does.
star teammate thing is really weird because it's like a 16% chance of working even with rerolls available. But when it happens, it feels unstoppable. And so then all you can think about is trying to stop it, but your opponent is usually not thinking about
my point is,
it.
even if I do score, I lose the game. Like, me scoring in that term would have been a bad strategic move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keep in mind, like, your opponent scoring touchdowns doesn't hurt you as long as you still win the game. Like, it's actually kind of bad manners to prevent them from scoring when you're like well ahead. Like, if it's like the game is out of reach for them and you're stopping them from scoring, you're just preventing them from playing in the league, basically.
Okay.
So don't be a dick.
All right.
Well, I was gonna say what you did to Ryan.
So
you chose not to score on turn 7, therefore denying me the possibility of scoring on my turn 8.
No, you knocked me down on
specifically
turn 7.
Walked and were like, I don't have to score. I can just stay right here.
Oh, was this the first half?
It was the last turn of the game.
Oh, now I need to check this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, I had to pick up a ball.
On
you
turn
had
8?
the ball.
No, you knocked it out.
You
knocked it out on
your turn 8.
Turn 8 of the second half. You knocked the ball out on like turn 4 on the play you're talking about. And I never had the ball. You had it for 4 turns where you just kind of walked it down. And you could have scored on 7, but you chose to stall and then score on 8.
Did you mark him down for stalling?
It is not stalling if it's on turn 7 or turn 8.
Aaron,
it still counts as stalling. They don't fail the roll, but they lose money for stalling.
Then I did not.
Aaron,
go ahead.
I don't need to argue on cast, but I'm really confident that I knocked out with the witch elves. Then you ended up picking it back up, and you end up moving. You tried to get all the way to the end zone, remember? And you've missed a pass, and the ball was sitting in the end zone, and you needed to pick it up, and you failed on a 1, and it fell out of bounds, and then bounced around back in bounds on my turn 6. I tried to pick it up.
I'm remembering Kenny's game. Kenny was the asshole, not you.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. I was like, I really don't remember that. I was trying really hard.
We were. I did everything I could.
Yeah.
I snatched my own victory from the jaws of victory so many times that game. I was like,
yeah.
Yes, you're correct. I remember the end of our game now. No, that was an epic end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was because you absolutely had the score, and then you just got exactly the 1 at exactly the wrong time, and then it ended up bopping around. Yeah. Okay, good. Whew.
Did you stop him from scoring though? Did you let him try and get it?
No, he was going to get it. I couldn't stop him.
I was walking in or catching.
I remember you failed to secure the ball.
Yeah, that was it. And then it bounced out.
I think it
bounced out of bounds. Got thrown in. Got thrown in again. And then he got it, and he failed the pass, and so I could have tried to pick it up and failed, and you were able to pick it up, hand off, run, pass, and score on your 8. Is how it happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the stalling says, should a player be in a possession of the ball when they are activated and can score a touchdown without having to roll a dice, yet finishes their activation without scoring a touchdown, it is said to be stalling. Then if you are said to be stalling, you make the roll. So if you just decide to stall, period, you lose money for the gate because the fans don't like it.
Well, Mr. Commissioner, you can do what you want.
I know. Obviously, you guys weren't stalling now that we've taken it. I'll just take 50K from Kenny. That seems fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I did want to cover bounties. I know it's a popular topic on the cast, but you did seem to like my idea. Are you still in favor of it?
Remind me of your idea on cast, please.
Anyone who is bountied is simply worth star player points for any casualty against them. So if I push you out of bounds, the pushing player gets the bounty, which is the casualty VPs.
And what does it take to bounty? Real money or game money?
That was the question. I think it should just be 50K treasury. I don't like it being out of game money unless that out of game money goes to something. Like we could say put it into like a door prize or something, or I don't know. It's just weird that people
for next season.
Sure, like we could put it into better prizes or whatever. Like I'm fine with all that. I just feels weird that, because if you give the money to the person who caused the casualty,
it's always to like a charity or something. It's never to the person. No. People don't Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I don't
Yeah.
think that was ever talked about, but cool. Yeah, I'm fine for just going into like league upkeep
I
or whatever. But I also think doing in-game money is fine too. But
I am
wanted your
fine
take.
either way, and I think I do like the reward being you get casualties even if you injure them through a non-normal star player way, and I think I like that because there's already
'cause,
a
like-
mechanic for how that exists in the game, and it's kind of thematic with
Yeah.
the whole bounty. So I think I really like that quote unquote reward.
Yeah, because you're incentivized to foul them, use secret weapons, push them into the crowd, basically do anything that could hurt them, even though normally you wouldn't.
So
get the
my
advantage
only
for it.
concern, I think this is my only concern with the in-game money, is at some point very, very soon, a lot of people are going to have a shit ton of extra money. Literal shit ton.
Mhm.
You know, they've got 6 fans. They're making an extra 120k gold a game. And they shouldn't buy any players with it. What are they going to do? Well, if it's in-game gold, it's literally
Sure.
just I
So my
bounty
thought
fucking
was
everyone,
we want
right?
them
I'm
to-
like, well, that's just kind of stupid too. It should be
Right. So starting off, I think we already wanted to give them something to spend their money on. 'Cause we
I
don't want
also
people
like
banking money.
I
But
don't like people buying fucking inducements out the ass. So yes.
Sure. What about if we just raise the amount and so it's not 50k, it's like 100k, or we could raise it as the league continues, or like.
So there are teams like me who are dirt poor can't afford anything. So
Yeah.
I think 50k is probably fine. I think maybe setting a limit on the number of bounties that you as a team owner are allowed to have out.
Mhm. We
at
could
a
make
time.
it
Yeah, there you go.
incrementally more expensive each time a person does a bounty. So like, let's say you do a bounty, it's 50k. Next time it's 100, then 150,
Yes.
then 200.
That's fine too.
And that way, you'll just, if you want to blow all your money on it, that's fine. But unless you are willing to roll expensive mistakes, you're only really going to get the 1 or 2 bounties in a season.
I like simple.
Yeah.
Okay. So you like the increasing gold value?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want it to be an additional 2 VP or just the normal casualty VPs?
I
What's the difference between normal and 2?
So normally you get 2 VPs for casualtying somebody.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Brawling Brutes team, then you get 3. What I was proposing is that you basically get the casualty VP even if you kill them through a non-block method, like a foul, which normally you would get nothing.
I would
Mhm.
give an additional 1 if it was through a regular block, and then 2 if it was through a foul or a crowd surf. Because if you give
There you go.
like
I
plus
like that.
2 base, where it would be 2 or 4, like 4 is a lot. But
Yeah, 4 VP
giving
for
them
one
an
action.
extra 1, I think is probably just fine. That's chaff.
I'm curious how we would mark that in the game.
There is a way to do that because you can already, unless they've changed it in season 3, there are prayers to Nuffle that give you, I think, an extra star player point.
Like, I know I could probably manually go change it
You
on
could.
someone's roster. The reason I was thinking the 2 works really well is because you'd basically just mark the casualty as normal, even though it was a push
Let me see in the game. I think there's a way to make your casualties worth 3 instead of 2. Bottom line. But I'll try it tomorrow in the game.
I know Brawling Brutes
Yeah, it's
get
an
it
8.
innately.
I want to say that when you click on casualty, there's a little scrolling. There's a toggle switch at the top where you can have it set to 3 instead of 2. It's by default on 2, so you'll never know it unless you're looking for it. That's the way it used to be. I can't imagine it's changed, but I want to confirm tomorrow. But it should be easy to do 2 or 3.
Okay. What if they're Brawling Brutes? Is it worth 4 then? Okay.
What is a
So we want to do.
what is a Brawling Brutes team? I didn't even know this was a
It's
delineation.
just a tag word. There's also Masters of Death and
What?
a few other ones. Masters of Death are the undead teams where if they kill one of your people, they get a zombie.
Oh,
That's
right,
just
right.
the Masters of Death keyword. Brawling Brutes says instead of 3 points, a touchdown's only worth 2 for your players, but casualties are worth 3 instead of 2. Black Orcs get it, and a couple other teams do. Because they don't really have the ability to score, because like Black Orcs, they technically can do the 1-turn touchdown because they've got the troll, but they don't have the players that you really need to make it happen, like the Doom Diver or the Pogoer. And so they just have 6 blockers, and that's kind of the way they win. And so it gives them a way to not fall massively behind in experience.
Is there a way to know if Which teams are the
Yeah,
Brawling?
if you pull up the
Black
Orc,
Orc. Is it Black Orc?
Sorry.
Is
Any
Black
way I
Orc
could know this.
Dwarf?
yeah,
Dwarf is a Brawling Brute? Interesting.
I don't think the regular doors are. I
Oh.
think it.
Okay, maybe this is...
Okay, I will
old.
read them to you real quick. There's only a couple. Where's the teams? Oh, I'm way ahead of this. All right, teams. Dude, we have Black Orc team, Dwarf team. Oh, they are. Interesting.
Does...
I hope that Tour Play does that automatically, because I know Josh hasn't been.
It should be.
Corn, but not regular Chaos. Nurgle. Oh, I didn't know Nurgle was. That's cool. Or Ogres, Orcs, and I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it's basically just the super fighty teams get inverted star players, star player points.
Interesting that it's interesting that dwarfs on that list, because usually I don't think of dwarfs as like a super.
Yeah, they've really changed the way dwarfs play, I think, in the last edition or two, because they made them. First off, they gave them a bribery and corruption, so they can buy cheaper.
Yeah, so they're brawling brutes and bribery and corruption. So are Black Orcs.
Right.
That's interesting.
So like the Snotling team though is low cost linemen, which means their lineman characters don't count against their team value, which is crazy. Because if you have like 10 Snotling linemen, your team value is like 150k below what it should be.
You cannot have 10 Snotling linemen.
Which is a lot of free inducements. You can have 16.
Not.
It literally says you can have 16.
There's also a trait that Snotling linemen have called insignificant.
What is that? Oh, you can't have more than half your team
Correct.
be linemen?
You cannot have more than...
Sure. So,
yeah,
8.
8, totally legal. As long...
But they also have a keyword, swarming, and so after you set up for a drive, they get D3 extra dudes. And they obviously have bribery and corruption. Oh, I didn't know the ogres had low-cost linemen. That makes sense. And they don't have insignificant. You just take 16
Noblars.
Noblar linemen and have a team value of 0 and get 1,000,000 gold. Let's fucking go! Best team ever. I'm going to buy 10 rerolls through inducements. God, what a stupid team. And favored of Corn and all the other gods mean basically nothing, right? It's just keywords for star players. Yeah.
I mean, that's...
I wish they had like an actual mechanic. Like it'd be cool if you chose favored of Corn that you got Brawling Brutes. That would be a cool tag that you could do like chosen with Brawling Brutes. The Zinch team could get like a cheaper wizard. Like that could be cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into Mojo World. I will chat with you tomorrow about finalizing the bounty policy, and then I'll post it in the channel. Okay. This week in Mojo World, we're doing Ben Affleck movies. Because Aaron got an amount of votes last week, he will get to go first.
Yeah.
Did you vote for yourself?
No.
Would you like to? Currently, you have 0 votes.
I mean...
I'm just kidding. You have 1. Let's see who voted for you. Nick.
Good job, Nick. Man of culture.
Yeah. Nick's man of wealth and taste. All right, Aaron. What's your number 1 pick for Ben Affleck movies? I bet I know what it is.
Ooh. Okay. It's Dogma.
I was correct.
All right. 1 down. 3 to go.
Well, Parker, you get to go next. You're basically guaranteed to get one of them.
We're going to go with Goodwill Hunting.
See, I haven't even seen that. All right, I get back-to-backs here. I'm going to go with Mallrats. And fuck it. We're going to go with Armageddon. Just be a complete idiot.
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's a good movie. It's got my boy Bruce Willis in it, too, so. All right, Parker, you get to choose your second of your 4 movies.
Okay. I'm sorry, your first one was what?
Mallrats.
Okay, good. I'm going to go with Argo.
Yeah, I like how you're just picking ones we never would have picked, and you were really worried about running out of choices.
I'm not. We'll talk about it later. I'm done.
Okay.
This was the hardest one I think I've ever done.
Okay. Aaron, your final 2 picks, sir.
Uh,
Make sure you get Parker's last pick, too.
Ugh, this is so hard. I don't think there's any way he can know this one. But let's see.
Okay, well,
good.
there's no chance I'm letting Clerks go, so
Okay.
we're taking
Never
that
seen
one.
that.
Oh my god.
I've never seen Clerks.
You've never seen Clerks?
I don't think not seeing Clerk is an indictment.
Really?
It's such a remember, you guys
That
aren't the same age. One,
That's a hard indictment, though.
not that
Hard
he's,
indictment.
Not that he's too young to have seen it, but it was a black and white movie that had like no budget. It's a cult classic, but if your friends don't watch that stuff, then nobody would recommend it to you.
Okay, Parker, you have a recommendation to go watch Clerks.
Okay.
My third one's a little bit of a question mark, though.
Arguably, like the most pure of the Kevin Smith
By
movies,
far.
because it's basically about
Yeah.
nothing. It's just Kevin Smith dialogue for an hour and a half. You have to choose one not Kevin Smith movie, right? Survey says.
Yeah, we'll do one on Kevin Smith. But those are all his good ones. Reindeer games.
Okay. Parker, was that your last one?
No, oh my gosh. So I picked this one because it is a terrible movie, ostensibly.
Good choice.
But I do really like it. I do actually.
I like where
really
your
like
mind's
it.
at.
It's Smokin' Aces.
All right, Parker, I've seen 0 of the movies you selected.
I know. I'll just go ahead and say it now. I know you haven't finished yours, but I'm going to stop. Ask grinding halt. As soon as you said Ben Affleck, I realized, like, oh shit, I have seen the weirdest fucking selection of Ben Affleck movies. Like, a lot of the ones that people think are really, really great, I have missed, and for some reason, I've watched all the shitty romantic comedies. I think I watched Daredevil on HBO like 5 times. Like, I've seen so many terrible of his movies, and then I was like, okay, these 4 movies, one of them, Dogma, is awesome. Like, you need to see Dogma before you die. But these other 3 movies are just fine enough for me to not cringe when I say them out loud. But like Geely or Daredevil, like, I couldn't possibly say that.
Okay, so of all the movies we named, though, is Clerks the only one you haven't seen?
What was yours too again?
Mallrats, Armageddon, Dogma, Clerks, Reindeer games.
I haven't seen Mallrats.
Okay, so Mallrats and Clerks are the only 2 you haven't seen.
Yes,
Okay.
I have not seen a lot of Kevin Smith movies.
Sure, and a lot of his earlier stuff is Kevin Smith. So
yeah,
I did like the Jay and Silent Bob zinger of when he's like, who's in that? He's like, probably Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Like, it's like the joke is that's all he casts.
Right.
All right, and then finally, I'm gonna go with The Accountant. Have you guys seen The Accountant?
I did. It was a little formulaic, but it was not bad for watching on the couch.
Yeah. It's basically John Wick, except John Wick is extremely autistic and likes numbers instead of liking dogs. And somebody kills his numbers and he decides to kill everyone. That's basically the movie, but it's a great movie.
Somebody kills his numbers.
That's literally what happens. Aaron, back me up here.
You're only slightly off.
Okay. No, it was really good. It's got the guy who plays Punisher, John, I don't know how to say his last name, Bernthal. Yeah. So he's really good in it. He basically just plays the Punisher that is a little more vulgar. He says more words, but other than that, he just plays the Punisher again. Yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. Cool. Any honorable mentions?
None.
I
have some dishonorable mentions, ones that no one should ever watch.
Give me some of the dishonorables. It takes a lot to get me to say you should not watch a movie, so I'm ready for this.
Okay. Everything he was in the DC universe. The Flash was a dumpster fire.
When you say The Flash, do you mean Flashpoint?
Sorry, The Flash.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the Flash. He's only in it for like half a second, but he's in it.
Because there's a second movie, Flashpoint, right? Or am I just crazy?
No,
and it's just called Flash.
Flashpoint was the animated one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because is the Flash the one with Michael Keaton? It is. Okay,
yes.
I'm just thinking of that movie. Okay, never mind.
Yep. Geely, Trying to find his romantic comedies. Those are the ones that you're just like, boy, how about that?
Well, on my honorable mentions, I have Chasing Amy, which was one of his like rom-coms.
Did you like Chasing? I don't think I've seen that one.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it had some funny parts and some romantic parts and some sad parts, so it was a rom-com.
It is generally considered to be a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
I
is.
think I've seen it on TV like fucking 30 years ago, so
yeah.
I couldn't.
It's not my type of movie, but I remember enjoying it.
I thought Batman vs Superman was bad. I think it was a waste of my time.
I will say this till the day I die. If you bought a movie ticket for a movie called Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice and they didn't give you exactly what you wanted, you were the problem.
Yeah.
Don't buy a movie ticket for a movie that's clearly terrible if you don't want to watch a terrible movie.
Yeah. But I think that was Shakespeare in Love. That one I didn't like. To Shakespeare in Love.
That was fine.
It was, but Bounce was pretty bad. Somehow I saw that.
Why do you watch these bad movies?
Because it was.
Are these movies your family is watching? And
yes,
you just happen to be there.
It's early.
Okay.
Yeah. It was 100%. My dad.
Back when you had actual cable, and
yes.
it's like this is on. I guess we're watching it.
Right. It was 100% like the days of HBO. And just like it's on. We're watching it. Like you didn't get to choose. You saw what was there.
Okay.
And somehow his movies were front and center for that. So that's why I haven't seen a lot of the indie stuff, because my dad never watched that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. All right, so my last two honorable mentions, I have Extract, which is a fun little Mike Judge movie that is odd, and then The Town, which I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah, people love The Town. I probably would love it. I have not seen that.
Yeah.
Gone Girl. People love Gone Girl. I haven't seen Gone Girl. Like, there's a lot of movies he's been in that were really stupendous that have a lot of critical acclaim, and I haven't seen.
You were busy watching Geely though, and so you haven't seen them.
Because Gone Girl and all those movies happened like the 2015, 16, 17, 18. I was, not watching movies I wouldn't look for Ben Affleck. And anyway, that's Ben Affleck. I've discovered through this Mojoverse is a big blind spot for me. I somehow have only seen the worst stuff of him, and I have a negative opinion of him that he probably has not earned. So,
well, I want you to watch Clerks and then tell me what the number 37 means to you after that movie.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say that.
The number 37. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I know of Clerks because it's such a big deal, but it will probably be nice to put a film to a face.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. If you like Dogma, you'll like Clerks. It's like watching Goodfellas after watching Casino. It's not going to be as good, but it is still a good movie, even though it's dated and it's been done a bunch.
Mm-hmm. I watched Casino only as a full-grown adult. Like, I never saw it when it came out, and that movie is so a product of its time. I was jarred out of it a couple times. Just like,
really?
Yeah. It was
interesting.
It was not that it was a bad. Like I said, not bad. Bad is not what I would say. But that kind of Scorsese era, or Scorsese in that era, there's something very kind of like brutalist about his style that I don't know if it's just like the camera technique or maybe the technology at the time. It just didn't translate believably, if that makes sense, right?
Okay. It's a mob movie, so it's clearly going to feel, surreal at times.
Well, no, what I meant literally is like in the scene where the car blows up, the car just catches on fire lightly. Yeah. And somehow he just kind of walks away from an explosion of a gas tank, kind of with a little, like, looks like pink Kool-Aid dripping down his head. Like, I was just like, what? It's just...
Well, that scene, it's because it was a botched car bomb. Like, that's why the scene looks like that. Is what it's supposed to be representing. If it worked, he would be dead. Okay. And in the monologue over the top of it, they say it's like they tried, like, and something went wrong, and so like that's why he lived through it. Like, but actually, if you just blow up somebody's gas tank, it doesn't like turn the car into a giant fireball. It's just fire. Like it doesn't.
And I get that. Like, it's not that it wasn't realistic. Sure. It's just it wasn't the movie magic I was expecting. Right. Sure. That's what I mean.
But then other parts of the movie are extremely brutal, and so like,
oh yeah, and brutal in a way that I don't know. We
it's like it's like almost Quentin Tarantino levels of like gore.
But Tarantino films are very hyper dramatized violence, and this
Yes.
was more just like fist to face kind of stuff. Like this is what it actually sounds like. There was no bum, pow, bang, slash, like those kind of like hyper sound effects and hyper realistic. It was absolutely it was just that terrible meat noise, like that kind of thing. And not to say it wasn't realistic, it was just like that's how you did that scene at the time, and it takes me out of it. I don't know why. Maybe because I've gotten used to the hypersensitive, oversensitivity of these scenes in the modern era. I don't know. That I'm just telling you what happened when I watched Casino.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, that has been us for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Aaron.
And you've just listened to 37, like, in a row?
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.